Hello out there, you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear, listening into another Gamer's Thoughts discussion. And this time I'm going to be talking about, I'm really going to focus on two things with this discussion. And that is going to be the woes of the Pokemon community over Sword and Shield, and the woes of the Smash community over the reveal of Byleth. Now, first things first, I'm going to say to everybody, and I really don't care how anybody takes this, because personally, the people that did these things are disgusting to me. Now, those who voiced their opinions and were just upset, I understand you were just voicing your opinion. But to those who decided that they would make threats toward the people that are developing these games, that, one, you have very little impact on individually. You yourself have very little impact on individually, and the game is made for more than one person to be played. So it has to appeal to a broader audience than just you and your specific needs. So, anyone going out of their way to make threats toward developers at all, in any way, shape, or form, you need to stop playing video games. You need to stop playing video games. You need to go get psychiatric help right now. Don't touch another video game. Go get help. Because if you can't separate your passion for the game enough from yourself that you have to threaten the life of anyone else over it, you need help, and you need to go get it as soon as possible before you actually cause someone some harm. It's never cool, it's never okay to threaten anyone over something that is entertainment. It's not a necessity. It's a pastime. It's an option to your life. You don't have to have it. So, don't threaten anyone over it. It's not cool. It's not funny. It's none of that shit that you think it is. And it doesn't make you look tough. It actually makes you look a whole hell of a lot more like a punk ass bitch. Go get help. For anyone that's made threats to any of these developers over that shit. Just like back during the days when they changed the fucking animation in Call of Duty and people were threatening over that. Which is still to this day one of the dumbest fucking things I have ever heard anyone complain about. Go get help. Go find someone to get some sort of counseling and help. Because at some point you are going to cause someone some harm and you are going to regret it. Go get your ass some fucking help. Now that little PSA out of the way. Focusing on Pokemon Sword and Shield first. I get that people were upset that they didn't get things the way that they wanted right off the bat. Again, voicing your opinion is fine. But you can't expect that everything that you want is going to be plausible or doable just because you think it is. Granted, I know my channel is based around video game ideas and I talk about them constantly. And yes, a lot of the things that I say I think should happen, I believe should happen. But I'm not arrogant enough to think that anyone actually has to listen to me. I'm not arrogant enough to think that. I do appreciate that I do have an audience. And I do appreciate that actual game developers do follow me. But seriously, no one actually has to listen to me. Like, all that I can say just basically comes off as suggestions. And I give reasons to my suggestions. But even when I rant and rave, I'm not calling people out there. Well, I might call people out their names. I might call people idiots and dumbasses and fuckfaces or whatever you want to call them. But again, I'm not threatening people's lives. And I can still be extremely passionate about a subject and cognitive of what I'm saying. That said, people are getting upset that there's DLC for these games. Oh, we have to pay another $30 to get more stuff in the game. Granted, if you actually want all the Pokemon in the game, you don't actually have to pay for them. You don't have to pay for the DLC. You just have to download the update and trade with people to complete your Pokedex. So you don't have to buy anything. There is an option. It takes more work, granted, but there is an option. Secondly, this DLC pack is cheaper, and it applies to both games. And it's cheaper than the option that most people complained about not having, which is to have a third game made. So, and honestly, I saw these arguments in the live chat while that announcement was being made, and I found it ridiculous that there were people who would go ahead and laugh. Oh, you gotta pay for the expansion to be able to get the rest of the Pokemon, but then these very same people were complaining, and I bullshit you not, it was the same people, were complaining that you didn't have to pay for another $60 game to complete the Pokedex. I'm just saying. And plus, Pokemon has always been on this type of model. It's not something new. If people didn't like it back in the day, they shouldn't have paid into it. But they did. I know a lot of people are guilty of it. I'm guilty of doing it a couple times myself, where I got one copy of the game and then I got the other copy. I didn't do it all the time, trust me. But I wasn't that big of a Pokemon fan. But I've done it a couple times myself, where I got one game for the one half of the Pokedex and the other game for the other half. It happens. People do it. So get off your high horses. But then the people that are complaining that there's not another full $60 game. I'm like, you're getting an expansion that would cover another game just about, and there's a crap ton more Pokemon. But you're getting 2 expansions actually that will cover another game, and it applies to both versions of the game. So you don't have to pay $30 and $30. You're just paying $30 for that pass, and it gives you all the content for both of the games you may have purchased. It covers it. Now, I also understand that people don't want to pay. I think it's Pokemon Home. People don't want to pay for that service. Fine, that's up to you. I understand why you don't want to pay it, and I'm not knocking you for not wanting to pay it. But there are other people who are willing to pay for it, and the Pokemon Company and Nintendo know this. Guess what you guys did by begging for so much stuff that Microsoft and Sony has done? You've kind of created the monster you don't like, unfortunately. You don't like this monster. You don't like having to pay for things that were once free to you. But guess what? You created this beast. You asked for all these additional services from Nintendo, and now that they're doing it and they're charging you money for it, you're getting mad. Sorry. I'm not even going to say I'm sorry. Honestly, you called this on yourselves. And a lot of people who complained about these things, wanting all these additional services, guess what? You got them. You got a paid Nintendo Online service now that you're still unsatisfied with, even though it's still the cheapest of the services that you pay for online access. Hey, if you want more, I guess what? I guess they would need to charge more, right? But people don't want to look at it that way. Not at all. They don't want to use their brains and think. They just want to complain and talk out the side of their head. Then there were people complaining about the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon announcement, and I'm like, why are you complaining about it? If it's not a series for you, you don't have to worry about it. But those people who liked the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, I'm pretty sure appreciated that little announcement. But it's like, even if you don't like something and it's not for you, you can't just say, okay, this particular thing ain't for me. Bypass that. I'll wait for the next announcement. Nope. Gotta turn that into something. Get over it. That isn't even an issue to complain about. It's just another game, and if you don't want it, don't get it. Simple as that. Nobody is holding the gun to your head and telling you you have to buy these games. And if somebody is, please call the goddamn police as soon as you can and get some goddamn help and assistance with that. Get some help with that, please. But outside of that, I know somebody's probably going to think that that was a joke. I mean, if somebody is literally holding a gun to your head telling you you have to purchase this shit, you need to find a way to get some assistance. But my thought process is, if there is somebody in that situation, they're not likely listening to anything on YouTube without that person sitting with them. So, I mean, I can't really say too much. I mean, it's something I don't think is actually happening, but just in the off chance. There we go. I mean, for Pokemon, these are things that you've known to be common with Pokemon, and you're getting upset with this. So it's either that there are a lot of people who are new to Pokemon and didn't understand this, which is highly plausible. I just don't think that that's the case, because Pokemon has always been a high selling game, so I don't think there are a lot of new people to the franchise. There may be a good deal of new people to it, but I don't think there are a lot. But it's also been known how Pokemon has been sold for quite a while now. Get over it. On to Smash. I don't care if you don't like the characters. It's fine. If you're not interested in them, fine. You don't have to pay for them. You can pay for the ones that you want. Me, as somebody who likes to have completed rosters in fighting games, I'd prefer to have everybody available, because you never know. Like, you might see someone play with that character and be like, oh, I didn't know that they could do that. I didn't know you could string those moves together that way. I didn't know you could do those combos, and it might actually make you interested in the character, and you might want to play with them. And then you find yourself in a situation where you only bought one or two characters, and now you have to pay individually for everybody else, which costs you more money in the long run. But that aside, Byleth being announced and people being mad that there is an 8th Fire Emblem character in a game of over 70 characters. I'm lost. I'm at a loss for words with that, because I understand why people would be upset because they wanted another character in. You know what? Fine. I get that. But again, saying that Sakurai is selfish and threatening this man and talking mad shit about him. This game is his passion project. He's put his heart and soul into creating it, and he's putting even more of his heart and soul into it to make this massive experience for people, where he is literally playtesting all of the characters himself and rebalancing them. He's putting in a shit ton of work. Whether you like the character choices or not, appreciate and respect that he is putting a massive amount of work into this to make it one of the biggest games ever. And he's been doing that since its inception, back on the Nintendo 64. All this hiding behind the keyboard and screaming and cussing people out, that needs to stop. That really needs to stop. All this threatening people's lives, threatening to go blow something. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen that. Get a goddamn grip on fucking reality. Again, same thing I said earlier. It's a video game. If you feel like you need to make threats to people's lives over a video game, go get some goddamn psychiatric help. Because you are unstable. If you are that emotionally tied to a video game that you get upset because one thing in it or a few things in it aren't the exact way that you wanted, and this group mob mentality of a bunch of fucking idiots, because that's what you are. The ones doing this shit, you're a bunch of fucking idiots. Get over it. Go get help. Go find a counselor, find a therapist, talk to your church reverend, whoever. Go get some fucking mental help. Because again, you need to walk away from video games. You don't need to play them if this is how you're going to be. This is an option. It's a choice. It's not a requirement. I don't give a fuck how much you appreciate it. I've been playing video games since I was 2 years old. I'm 33 now. That's 31 years I have been involved in the video game community and the video game industry as a consumer. I have way more personal issues that go on in my life that I don't want to talk about on here. But I don't turn that to the industry. The one thing that it is an option. It's a nice option to have. It's nice to have that escapism, to be able to play something and enjoy it and allow your mind to rest from your woes in your life. Again, I do get being upset. I'm not one that has not ranted about different things I've disagreed with in the gaming industry. Like how I didn't like Dead Rising 4 getting multiple editions, and if you got the regular edition, you had the true ending of the game hidden behind a paywall. I hated that. My suggestion, just make one damn edition of the game and put it at the price that it should be at. Instead of charging extra money to hack the game into pieces. This isn't the same thing. This is that you didn't get the one specific character that you wanted because you think that they deserve to be somewhere. I'm sorry, Sakurai is the one that has planned this thing out. He's been the one working on it. He's been the one managing it. He's the creator of it. It's his choice. You can either like it or dislike it, but get the fuck over yourselves and stop thinking that you are going to be that it's just cool. It's going to be something that's allowed to threaten this man's life. Stop doing that type of shit. One, it makes everybody else look bad. It makes everyone else who plays video games look horrible. Because you can't keep your emotions in check. You can't keep your mind right. You don't know how to act because something didn't go the way you wanted it. Get the fuck over it. And the bad thing is, everything that he showed off of Byleth for that reveal, the character looks awesome to play with. Whether you're playing the male or the female version, the character looks awesome to play with. And it will make sense that he would want to, not go to another third-party character for the end of this DLC pack. Because one, it was resources he had much quicker access to, and he could develop something around the character because he had a chance to actually get to know them. Get to know what the character was about. Get to know what the character was capable of. And incorporate that in Smash. Now, if you look at a lot of the third-party characters that they announced for Smash, they're older characters. They're characters that have been well established, that Sakurai could have had plenty of time to talk about or play games for. He likes to be engrossed in his work. He likes to add the personal touch to it, and that's what makes his games so amazing. And the fact that so many people would spit on that by threatening this man's life over Twitter, I don't give a fuck if you don't actually mean to do it. It's just the disrespect of it all together is fucked up. And y'all want people to take you seriously? You want people to actually listen to you and consider the things that you're saying, but you want to act like a goddamn 2-year-old child because you didn't get your way? Fuck you. Fuck all of you. Fuck everything that you want, because I don't give a flying fuck about what you fucking think works. And I'm pretty sure the rest of the industry and the community at large feels the same way. So, again, fuck all of you. But that's it from me. I'm not going to be this negative again, hopefully. At least As long as people don't do anything else, this goddamn fucking stupid. Oh gosh, I really am the Oprah of F-bombs. I don't know how many I've put in this video. This damn it, like you had to say that shit. But look, I really don't like it. I really don't like it. I adamantly hate it when people come out and they make threats to people doing something to help them in their lives. Like, whether people want to agree or not, video games actually help a lot of lives. They help a lot of people with stress. But you also have to be able to separate yourself from the video games. You are not a part of the video game. You are not the video game. It is not your world. It is not your life. It literally doesn't affect you outside of you choosing to play it or not. What happens in a game does not affect, it doesn't have to affect you. You can have your opinions, but it doesn't have to actually affect you. That's it. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games and peace out.